It's kind of like the start of every spring video, I guess. There we are at the maple sugar bush. And that's right, before we have our maple cooked meat, first we have to earn it. So we've got to get a fire going. I got a lot of sap to boil. We have sap to collect. All the buckets are full. Got my #1 helper here, Scouty, and he brought Tara with him. Kidding. And we might have some cold drinks and eat some flame broiled meat and listen to a Jays game later. Like, is that like the epitome of a Canadian experience or what? Should be good. So we'll start with the work. I'll show you around the sugar bush in case you haven't watched the last 3 videos that I put out. You can see what we're all about, and then we're cooking. Was I recording? Okay, yes. Let's move this panel because it's not in the sun. It won't be in the sun until this afternoon. And I keep saying I'm going to bring up my 100-watt panel and I keep forgetting. But honestly, this, there we go. That's more power. This big battery, my new Life Power battery, has got so much power. I'm not really worried about it running out. And what we got going on here? 13.5 volts. There's not a lot of power flowing from the sun right now, but it's been feeding a bunch of amp hours into that big battery. Since I set it up, it's done like 8 amp hours. I poured off some almond syrup yesterday, so that's going to come back to the house later today to finish and filter. This is going to end up reaching the syrup point, so I'm going to filter it through these Orlon filters to cool down in a roast pan, and then I dump it in the bucket to carry it back home. Fire's getting started. I'm really happy with that heavy-duty Princess Auto tarp. And what I did is I brought my cordless driver up. What I want to do is loosen these up and then snug these boards over a little bit just to take the play out of this, especially at the bottom. It's just kind of a little bit loose, but if I unscrew it, snug them over, screw them back down, everything will be nice and tight. And then once we get boiling, this is going to start to drain down into the boiler. The lines were frozen yesterday. We couldn't get any sap coming through, but I see they're already starting to thaw in the sun here, so it's only a matter of time before these thaw out and start to draw down, which is good because my reserve tank is chock full. And we go for a little walk. Yes, it's Easter weekend. It's like, what is it, March the 30th or something? It is Saturday the 30th, almost noon. Actually, this is the kind of day where my Garmin Instinct might charge up some solar energy. Bought that from Cabela's a while back to track my energy expenditure and my sleep stats and other features. Sap icicles. And you can see there's a bunch of, oh, I'm freezing my teeth. Oh, yeah. Lots of frozenish sap to collect. And there's 102 or 104 buckets. What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, you want to play. Been chopping firewood, so this is for burning in the house, maybe some to sell, maybe some to burn up here for next year's syrup operation. So I've got trees that I'm thinning out in the woods to maximize tree growth of my sugar maples for sap production. So thinning trees out and making firewood, all part of my big plan up here. So probably run the saw in a little bit while we're boiling And then our routine is cut wood, stack wood, come back, feed the fire, split some wood, cut wood, stack wood, split some wood, feed the fire. We just keep cycling and boil off as much of this sap as we can, because I've got 400 liters of sap to boil, plus whatever's out in the pails right now. And we're gonna make some syrup today. So this is just a little bit uphill from the evaporator. And you can see there are a few buckets up here. I got more uphill that way. This is the direction of the future expansion. But we're thinning trees out here, and then when everything dries up, we'll come up with the ATV and a trailer to bring wood down. And right now, there's a pretty big mix of yellow birch and sugar maple, and this is a spot where my dad was cutting firewood. I'm guessing maybe between 15 and 20 years ago. So I just wanted to show you this stump. If we count back on the rings, you can see there's been some like really massive growth in some years for this birch tree. So if we count back in rings like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then you get into these tight rings here. So maybe based on that, maybe I guess that my dad was here 10 years ago. And because he opened up the canopy, these yellow birches, which were just small at the time, they started packing on bulk. They started growing really fast and reaching up into these canopy spaces. So now, with an eye to syrup production, what I want to do is I want to release some of my maple trees in the same way. So this tree here, which might be 20 centimeters DBH, it's not big enough to tap yet, but I want to bulk it up into a crop tree, so a tree that's going to give me sap for the next few decades. And in order to do that, I should consider taking out this yellow birch and opening up that piece of canopy. So then what'll happen is my sugar maple is going to reach out, it's going to build a bigger canopy with longer branches, and that bigger canopy is going to result in greater root growth around the base and ultimately more sap flow in the spring. So I want to release some of my crop trees or future crop trees. And then I'm also looking for things like this over here. When I see a tree in this condition, so it's got a fairly small crown, although it is currently outcompeting the maple beside it. It has a healthy but small crown, but I see a bad scar. That's probably from when my dad was wood cutting. He was felling a tree and it maybe knocked a branch off up there. I see a bad scar here, right? And then a seam traveling all the way down the tree, a seam or a scar. So when I look at that tree, what I have to do is make a bunch of micro and macro decisions about how I want this piece of forest to grow depending on my goals. So it can be really multifaceted. So I'm a big conservationist and a wildlife guy, so you know, I'll look, and if there's some kind of a nesting cavity, so if that tree's like really poor quality but it's got a nest in it or nesting cavities, I'll probably leave it for the habitat value. I'm not really super limited on space up here. So I can leave a lot of habitat features, and it's not really encroaching on the number of maples that I can ultimately tap into the future. There's probably a 50-acre sugar bush here, which is more maples than I'll ever tap. So I'm looking at habitat quality, tree competition, and which trees I want to take out for firewood, which is ultimately something that's of economic value to me, but also future growth of trees. So for example, some of these yellow birches are really high quality with no knots on the lower 10 to 12 feet. And I'll have to get some advice about them, but they might be future veneer logs if they reach a market size. And yellow birches are one of the highest valued logs in my region for their veneer. There's a veneer mill in my region, and so if I kind of look around, if I can make a log load of veneer logs, that could be a future windfall, an economic windfall for me. And if they're not veneer logs, they're high quality firewood. Okay, another couple quick examples. I know you just want to watch me cook meat, but see this maple here, and it's got like a super dead wonky top on it. It's not going to grow into any kind of a tree, and it's currently not quite in the canopy, and it's crowding some trees around it. That's probably a tree I'll take out. The one behind it has a dead top. I'll probably take that one out. That skinny one even further back, which has a dead top, and the one beside it, which has a dead top as well. Those are all ones that will probably come out, and they'll make space for this yellow birch here and that maple further back. Although it's not a super high quality tree, it's kind of the best available in the spot, and that's the crop tree that I'll probably work around for this little microzone. Syrup is finished when it is 7 degrees above the boiling point, and right now it's if I look at it straight on, oh, it's getting hot. It's at 6 degrees. Now it's at 6.5 degrees. I just threw some dead maple. I cut down a tree that had a dead top, like the one I was just about to show you. This is the hottest firewood in the sugar bush, these dead maple tops and branches. So I just shoveled the evaporator full of that, and you can see there's some serious steam coming off of there. We're making syrup, so I got to stay close, and then when we get to 7 degrees, start to pour some syrup off. Yeah, it's at 6.5 degrees. I'm going to open this up a little bit just to trickle it out. So it goes through, I got a pre-filter, and then I've got a fine filter, and then I pour it into the roast pan just so it cools down a little faster. And I don't want to put like 212 or 219 degrees syrup into that bucket, because I've warped my buckets before doing that. And I don't know that these are really like heat rated. So it drips into here, cools down, and then goes into there. It's pretty good. There it is. So 7 degrees. Actually find that the middle channel is hotter than the front channel often, just the way the heat comes up inside the firebox. So if I start a pour at 6.5 degrees, I think what happens is it pulls even hotter syrup over, and then I'll have to get like a higher reading on my temperature. So it's like 7.25 degrees right now, above boiling point. So good. Making a lot of evaporation. And you can see there's not a lot of makeup water, makeup sap coming in my valve there right now, because that line is still frozen. So I'm going to have to manually pour a bit of sap in there, I think, until those lids thaw out. It shouldn't be too long. It's getting warm out today. There's the meat. Oh, there's the marinade. Yep. Just gonna let that soak for a little bit. Set it right there, and then next we'll cook it. What do you think?
I think you should put more on.
More syrup?
Yeah.
Oh, Carol wants me to get the diabetes. Actually, fun fact, my frame here. Fun fact, maple syrup has the same glycemic index as honey, which is to say that it is a low glycemic food. I think that's quite a bit of maple syrup. Oh yeah. I don't think it's going to get too hot here. It's a little bit warm.
I think if you put it anywhere else, Scout's going to eat it.
There, Scouty can't get it up there.
No.
Scouty the meat thief. Bark mulch for the garden. I find the smaller you split it, the hotter it burns. So I usually split it down to about that size. This one's got a big knot in it, so I'm not gonna struggle with it, but this one can be smaller. This one's got a knot too, we'll see what it does. It splits. That one could be smaller. That one's good. Hello? Check the syrup again. Still coming off at 7 degrees. So that's good. The fire's a little low, so we'll throw some more fuel in here. Berry wood, split wood, burn wood. Start that in a minute. So we ran into a little bit of a problem because my gravity tank's not feeding because it's frozen, and then I can't pump stop up to it because I think my pump froze. So for a minute we were kind of scrambling there to keep manually adding enough sap to the tanks, or sorry, to the pans to keep them from drying out. And we have a lot of syrup that's on the way, so right now it's at 6 degrees, so it's almost ready to pour off more. And we have this much syrup. Syrupy sap that we just poured off, so that's coming to the house to get finished. And there'll be more again soon. Okay, we're back in business. So the pump, I put the pump in the sun and thawed it out. I cleared the ice out of the lines. Back on the LiTime, the lithium iron phosphate battery, which is working great. And now we're pumping sap up into the gravity tank, which is filling up nicely. It's got some slush in it, so it wasn't feeding very well. But if we go around the scouting bear, past the solar panel, over here, you will see that now there's water. Let me get the zoom here. I have gloves stuck in my mouth. So you can see from the gravity tank now there's makeup sap coming in. So it's going to keep the right level in the pans. I'm not worried about burning my pans now. And we're making syrup. It's not hot enough yet. And in a minute, we're making meat. I think it's meat time. Oh yeah. Okay. So I've got this, I use this for roasting chestnuts. And I've done hamburgers, I've done venison steaks on this. Today we're doing that beef. Oh. No, it's stuck, eh? Needs a little more convincing. Holy, is it ever stuck? Hot in front of the stove here. Okay, let's burn that off. Oh, Tara, could you pass me the bear fat? Thanks. Yeah, bear fat's serious stuff. Oh my god, it's like too hot to squat in front of this fire. So this is some bear fat that I rendered in 2020. It's been in my pantry. So we're going to do a little bit of basting with bear fat. This is sounding really yummy, Tara. YouTube can't see your face. She's in total agreement with me. That's what her face is saying right now. Could you pass... Oh yeah, he's all over it. Can you pass my gloves over? Because I'm going to end up burning myself here.
Yeah, I burn it. That's quite hurt. That's a lot of time to get that €7.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's why I use a piece of wood to open and close these because, well, these work okay, but if you hold on to that handle for too long, that's the end of your glove or mitten. That looks clean enough. So, oh, see, there's like, I don't know if that maybe showed on camera, but like there's smoke coming off my glove.
The other door's not shut.
No, they're both open, actually. I wanted them both open. So, let's get our maple marinated steak. Oh, wow. Yeah. Woo, this metal thing's really warm.
Imagine that.
Maybe not surprisingly.
Oh, it already smells good.
Yeah. Just from making contact. Sorry, that wasn't even in frame, but
Where did you put the bear fat?
you want some bear fat's right here. I'm gonna angle this down a little bit so people can see what I'm doing. Right there. Basted in bear fat. Maple marinated meat basted in bear fat, cooked over flames or cooked over coals. Either way, it's still a haiku. A little bit of bear fat, and then we're going to cook it, and we're going to throw a little bit more bear fat on at the end. Whew, it's like an inferno in there. A meat inferno. Yes. Yeah, we could stop it for now. It's also probably really annoying to listen to in the background. You guys want a little close up? Let me do some camera work for you. Let's have a look in here. There's an Easter feaster right there. It's gonna be good. So that's all framed up again for everybody.
We're just gonna eat it with Okay.
Yes. Like a barbarian. Oh, yeah. How's that? Oh, look at that. Smell it. Listen. Oh. This is like the best day up here.
Yeah.
We're cutting so much firewood. We're boiling so much sap. I gotta bring you over to the buckets because we had to run for sap to be able to keep the pans from drying out on us because we were evaporating so fast and we didn't have that gravity tank going. But it's all fixed now. But they're dripping so fast today, and they just started. They like just woke up. The sun's shining. There's not a lot of birds today though, eh?
No.
So the awesome thing here in the morning is you hear sometimes the geese on the swamp nearby, and you'll hear the robins. And then if you're here in the evening, you'll hear the robins going to bed, but you'll hear owls. So when I was up here late the other day, there was a barred owl calling. And if you're here even later than that, you might hear saw-whet owls. So it's kind of, there's lots of good sounds up here. What do you think? What do you think about that?
Were you going to put more bread on?
Yes, there I was. I can do this without burning myself.
Oh, well, I can help you.
A little more bare fat basting. Yep. Spread it around. Sizzling right in there. A little bare fat on the other side. Whew. It's almost too hot to hold on to. Let's get it in there for, let's try one more minute. I'm not too fussy on how cooked it is. It doesn't have to be super cooked. The bare fat's basically going to burn off if I leave it in there for too long. It's already flaming a little bit, so yes. We'll just let it rest. We'll let it rest a minute, and then we'll cut that thing open.
Can I put more wood in there?
Yeah, while it's open?
Yeah.
Sure. That's a thing of beauty. Hey, Scotty Bear. These, I don't know if these are really like backpack friendly, but for canoe camping and car camping and stuff, these are pretty awesome cook systems. Just like, you can do a lot in here. Vegetables, meat, more meat. Let's flip that viewfinder, Scotty. What are we even looking at here? I'm not looking at most of me, but I can get in this frame. Okay. Got a little bit of...
Just gonna go get some more wood.
Okay. I used this on something sticky, and now it's got like, it's picked up some fibers from my pocket. I don't want that on the meat. Oh, Scotty Bear, you big baby. You big baby. For Scotty Bear. Okay, you want some? It's there. It's there. Well, that piece is mostly fat. So mapley. Oh yeah. Ooh. I think I nailed it. Look at that. It's so good. Super juicy. Nice, Scotty. That little piece was for you. Good boy. There you go. Oh yeah. All right. Happy Easter to you all. We're gonna eat and probably keep filming a little bit. We're gonna be making maple syrup today for sure. Cutting some more firewood. After I run the saw, I might have a cold beer and listen to the ball game on the radio while we keep the fire going. I think it's going to be a good day. Maybe have a little meat coma. Hey, Scotty Bear. He's just looking at me, licking his chops. Wow, look at this dog. You're all highlighted nicely in the sun, Scotty Bear. Oh, you handsome. Oh, he's backing up. I think he's in trouble. Nice. Steam just pouring out of that sugar bush. Sugar camp. Bunch of delicious meat. Ooh, and a scavenger. No. You already got yours. Come on. A lot of them have this icicle on them. But then when you take it off, they're dripping pretty good. This one not so much, it's in the shade. Let's see if we can find a good one in the sun over here. And I'm heading back up to finish cutting that tree. We're big helpers. Yeah, that one's dripping pretty good. Some of them are dripping faster than that though. I almost misjudged the length on that one. I am was that far from hitting the camera. It landed right there. Good wood.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever I've been doing is not.
Start up there. Do some park work here. Really crack when I drill. Still scared, Scooby? You're fine, bud. Pump it bottom. All of our sap is up in the gravity tank now. Well, we did what we can. So the sap barrel's empty. The gravity tank is just over half full. We have more. So I already brought about that much back to the house today. So we're going to put that on my electric range and get it to the right bricks to filter it and bottle it. I'm obviously not yet.
Filter it again?
Yeah, I filter it through coffee filters. Filter. So yeah, in the future there will be a bottling station up here. I'm not quite there yet, but you know, a little bit more every year, getting there, and just enjoying some time in the woods. Right, Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Get us both in the frame here. Catch you on the next one, YouTube.